All right, problems 11 and 12 are going to look like this. So let's take a look at this one right here. The first thing I always try to conceptualize on these is break this up into as many different radical signs as you can with the individual terms kind of by themselves so you can sort of see what you're dealing with here. And I already know I can do this one because this is an even sign, and we know from the previous lesson in lesson 4 that if you have a variable with an even sign, you just divide it by 2. So this one's going to give me z to the 6th. And now we're going to deal with this and this. So for our square root of 8, pull out your largest square number that you can, and that's 4. And then what's left is 2, because 4 times 2 is 8, right? And that simplifies down to 2 times the square root of 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. All right, and then for y to the 11th, remember what we do is we rewrite it and we go down to the nearest even number. Well, the nearest even number from 11 that's below it is 10. So we go to y to the 10th times y. And then you think of that as square root of 10, square root of y. And then square root of y to the 10th is, seeing as it's an even number now, you divide that by 2, and that gives you 5. So you get y to the 5th power times the square root of y. Now all you got to do is just put all this together. So we'll start with this. All right, so we'll have 2 square root of 2, and then we're going to put together, pull our y to the 5th and square root of y. And then we'll pull our z to the 6th out. But that's not how we want to leave it, is it? We want to put everything that goes under a radical sign under a radical sign. Everything that's outside needs to be kind of stuck together. So you usually go left to right, numbers first, and then the variables in alphabetical order, and make sure everything's combined that can be combined. So we have 2, y to the 5th, z to 6, because y comes before z in the alphabet. And then under the radical sign, you just kind of multiply what's left over. So 2 times y is 2y, and then you have your final answer. All right, let's do one more problem, sneak that on this video here. Simplifying a sum or difference of radical expressions, univariate, that means one variable. So square root of 63y, basically think of that as this. All right, simplify that, and 63 we can bust up to this. Square root of 9 times square root of 7, and then there's your square root of y. I can simplify that down to 3, and then I'm going to put the 7y stuff back together. All right, so we have that. And now for my 28y, sorry, my square root of 28y, we're going to rewrite that as square root of 28 times square root of y. Square root of 28 can be written as square root of 4 times the square root of 7. And then you've got your square root of y here. Square root of 4 gives me 2. And then look at that, we're left with 7y. If the numbers if the radicands, in other words, the numbers that are under the radical sign are the same, sorry, not the numbers, the values. If they're the same, then you've got this plus this. That means you can just take this number and add them up. So you get 5 times this. And the reason for that is, think about the distributive property. If I pulled this square root of 7y out, that would leave me with this. Or sorry, 3 plus 2. And 3 plus 2 is 5. And then you would just move that in front, which would give you this answer right here. So that's why that works. That's why we can do that. So hopefully these problems are making a little more sense for you, the next video will start with problem 14. Thanks.